This final step that I'd like to share is about accountability. Accountability works differently for different people. Some people have a personality type where they will set their goal and they will do it without accountability. But then there are times when you start something and then you give up because you're working on it alone, where it helps to have a friend that you're working with on this journey. You find that when you make a promise to someone else, you find yourself, come what may, you will be there at work if you told your boss will be there. But then when you make a promise to yourself, you say, I'm going to work out tomorrow. You find that you don't work out. But when you tell someone else that I will meet you at the gym at 9 o'clock, you will be there. Now, according to Gretchen Rubin, this Hi, I'm Gabriela, and this is the Personal Finance and Coffee Podcast. And on this channel, I make episodes about how can we manage our money better, so that we don't feel like 5 years later, 10 years later, I made the money, but I don't feel like I'm making progress. Let us break this cycle. That's what we talk about on this channel. If this is something you find valuable, please like this episode and subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming episodes. Now, today is our final episode in the series of managing your money better in 2025. Now, I have the different episodes that we've already made, and I'll have a link to the playlist in the description below. And this final step that I'd like to share is about accountability. Accountability works differently for different people. Some people have a personality type where they will set their goal and they will do it without accountability. But then there are times when you start something and then you'll give up because you're working on it alone, where it helps to have a friend that you're working with on this journey. So this is where accountability comes in. Now, first of all, before we go into this episode, I'd like to share with you my budget template that I made for 2025. I'll have the link in the description below. If you've been looking for a budget template where you can make your budget on a monthly basis from January to December, and you can also track your spending and monitor your net worth. This template has all the months, and it also has an annual page where you can track on a yearly basis. How did I do in January, February? Am I making progress towards the targets that I made? That's what this template shares. And if you're interested in purchasing it, I have a link in the description below. Now, let's get back into accountability. When it comes to accountability, different people take it differently. There's a test that people talk about where there are people who are obligers, there are questioners, and there are rebels. Gretchen Rubin's test, personality test. Now, if you find that when you make a promise to someone else, you find yourself, come what may, you will be there at work if you told your boss you'll be there. But then when you make a promise to yourself, you say, I'm going to work out tomorrow. You find that you don't work out. But when you tell someone else that I will meet you at the gym at 9 o'clock, you will be there. Now, according to Gretchen Rubin, these are obligers. And when it comes to your finances, when it comes to preparing for 2025, it's important to identify, am I the person who performs better when I have someone else that is holding me accountable, someone else that I have to check in with? If you find that that is how you accomplish your goals, that is how you operate best, then find someone to walk this journey with. Try to get an accountability partner. Now, it may take a while to find someone that you're in line with. And when you get an accountability partner, it does not mean that you share with them your whole budget and your everything. We are a bit, personally, I think I would also be a little bit uncomfortable. Unless, of course, my husband, but it would be a bit uncomfortable. But when you have an accountability partner, you can say, let us make our budgets. You check in with each other. Have you made your monthly budget for next month? Have you checked in for this week? You know, to just send yourself a WhatsApp, send a text message, find a way to communicate and a frequency that works together, that works for both of you. If you say you want to check in every week or every month, to keep yourselves accountable. If you have similar goals, to say, oh, how is it going? How far with paying your debt? How far with, to check, to kind of give you that extra push of, oh, I have to check in with this person. Then the Gretchen Rubin personalities, there's one who is an upholder. This is when you're a person who, if you say you're going to do this, if you say to yourself, I am going to work out, you work out. Now, those people, you can simply take a decision and say, I'm going to do this, I'll check in on this, this is what works for you. Now, I don't know if this makes sense, but there are areas where I feel like I am more of an upholder, where I will tell myself, Gabby, the budget, whether someone is going to have a check-in or not, it's easy for me. In that category, I am an upholder. But when it comes to like working out, I find that I think I need more of an accountability, because I keep trying to do this by myself and it's not working. So it is also possible that there are areas where you're more of an obliger, where you're more of, you need an accountability partner. And then there are also areas where you'll find that you don't need an accountability partner. You're able to do it by yourself. So when it comes to finances and how you're going to stick to these goals that you have set come 2025, try to think through, if it comes to money, which side do you lie on best, so that you're able to find what works for you. It might take a bit of self-reflection and try and error for you to find that, okay, this is the method that works for me. Now, let me give an example. When it comes to me, this may be a weakness, but when I tell people that this is what I'm going to do, you guys, I don't do it. I don't even know why. My theory right now, I think I had this on a certain podcast. My theory right now is that when you say what you're going to do, and then people say, oh wow, this is a good idea. Oh wow, that is going to work. Our brains register it as having received the reward of what we were going to do before we've actually done it. So the motivation to actually do it reduces. That's my theory, guys. So in certain areas, I don't tell people what I'm going to do, because my observation is that I don't do it. But I do acknowledge that working as a team is important. So this is an area that I need to, I'm still experimenting with to find what works for me. This is all very general, but what I'm trying to say is that identify if you need an accountability partner as you get on this journey of managing your money in 2025 better. And as you go through this process, I would also recommend that try different versions, but give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. We are only human. We are only human, and we can only do so much. Even when we make plans, guys, isn't it me who plans every month? I do acknowledge that God is in control of it all. God is in control of all this. All the plans I'm making, all the budgeting I am making is pointless if God does not allow it to happen. So, even as I plan, I always pray. I pray for God to grant me the energy. I pray for God to open doors and opportunities. I am aware that I am only human. I am not God. And me sharing with you all these systems and all these processes, please be aware that if you are in a season that does not make sense, if you are in a season of a medical crisis, I cannot even begin to imagine what you're going through and the amount of bills that you're going through. Please do understand that we can only do so much as human beings. And as I do all this planning, as I work on my systems, I am constantly praying to God for guidance, for enlightenment. There are things that will happen, and clearly it is not my energy. Let me be honest. It is not my energy. So as we try to find an accountability partner, as we try to make progress on these goals, please keep in mind that we can only do so much. If you have set the goals and come May, June next year, nothing is working, things you did not expect have happened, because they will, give yourself grace and try again when the season is right. If you found value in this episode, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.